What is up, guys? Welcome back to On Point Politics, and today I want to go over my Senate prediction as of today for 2024. Now, this one is going to probably be a bi-weekly series more than likely. It may not be every single week that I do this. It may be bi-weekly, maybe closer to election day. I'll probably do a weekly analysis of this, and I want to give in my, kind of brief analysis of how this is going to go. Now, to be honest with you guys, I'm not as thoroughly informed about the Senate races as I am the presidential races, but I do believe that, more than likely, I'm still going to be able to give, a valuable presentation for this video. So if you guys enjoy the video, please like the video by hitting the like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you share this with the friends so we can get this out on the algorithm. And without further ado, here we go. And so pretty much we could basically assume that Utah, Wyoming, North Dakota, Nebraska, with the special election alongside Missouri, Tennessee, Mississippi, Indiana, are all going to be safe states. Another one that I am also going to characterize as safe is West Virginia, guys. Jim Justice is poised to be the nominee there, and Joe Manchin at this point is basically dead on arrival. So I really don't even see this as a competitive race at all. I think he's pretty much got this in the bag already. For the Democratic safe states, I think California will be safe, Washington, Hawaii will be good, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland. Now, New Jersey is actually quite funny because I know we have that Bob Mendes thing going on. And so that could potentially be a weak spot for the Democratic Party. So I'm going to say, in a hypothetical scenario, if Bob Mendes is the nominee, which I don't think he is, if I understand he's getting a primary challenger, but for now, we're going to assume that he's the Democratic nominee for the sake of the prediction, and he gets, a likely margin there. He'd win it by like maybe 8 or 10 points. And so here we're going to go over. Oh, well, New Mexico is also going to be a likely characterization. I have to look more into that one. Texas is going to be likely. Ted Cruz, is more popular than what he was before. The state's turnout is going to be affected by Trump being on the ballot. It's going to give a little bit of a boost to Ted Cruz. And the Democratic nominee is more of an open guns kind of person. And so I feel like that's going to turn off a lot of voters, similar to how it did for Beto in 2018. Even in an environment where it was D+9 and Ted Cruz was kind of unpopular, Beto O'Rourke was still not even able to win, the election at all. He only got within 2 points in like a best case scenario for himself. I think Florida is going to be another election where even though the candidate is not particularly a popular candidate, I do feel like he's also going to be, pretty poised to win re-election despite who the Democrats put up. I think that New York will probably be a likely characterization since I do have Trump basically only losing it by 8 or 9. I think the turnout is going to be able to match there. And I think whatever race is happening here, I do think it'll be within 10 points as well. Because you got to understand, if you look at the Senate elections on presidential years for 2016 and 2020, most of the time, the states will not cross vote. Usually, whatever state votes a certain way, the party basically goes with it. The only state that didn't do that was Susan Collins' seat, that basically ended up going. And I think Maine will be a likely characterization. If we're going to go in here, I think Montana will be a likely characterization as well. I think Trump's going to probably win the state by 20, and I cannot see Tester outperforming Biden by even 20 points. So I think for now, it's safe to say we're going to keep it at an 8 to 9 point characterization. I know he is a popular senator there, for the most part compared to most Democrats, but I think the turnout's going to crush him in Montana. I also think another state that, the Democrats going to get crushed in due to presidential turnout, I think, is Ohio. I think Sherrod Brown is going to go down. However, he does have a lot of the Northeastern support that past Democrats had here. So I do think he's going to be able to eat in there. And I know Moreno is going to be the nominee, which I think he's a decent choice. So I do think the Moreno will probably win it by 3 or 4 points, with Trump helping him out on the ballot. And so now we get to the more competitive races. I know that the Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar is very popular. I think she'll win re-election by probably 10 points. She'll outperform Biden by quite a bit. I really can't see that being, a competitive race. And so we got the Pennsylvania Senate seat, which I think would be a lean characterization. Now, again, I know I did say that despite, the states kind of voting with each other, I do think that this year's candidates in the Rust Belt, the Democrats will outperform. I do think Pennsylvania is a lean characterization. The incumbent senator there is very popular, and I really cannot see it being a state that would even flip with any of the Republican nominees, especially if they're going to go for Dave McCormick. The establishment, even with Trump's turnout, he's not going to be able to beat. It's Bob Casey that's there. He's not going to be able to beat him there. For Arizona, I actually think that Carrie Lake is going to be pretty favored here. I think she does actually win it by 2 or 3 points. And I actually do think she'd outperform Trump on the ballot as well. I think her campaign against, Ruben Gallego is a lot more sufficient than last time. So I do think that plus with third party turnout and Kristen Sinema's vote, if she does run for re-election, I think it'll aid her in winning the state pretty easily. She barely lost it in 2022. So I think she'll win the state pretty easily, actually. Now, Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin is a very popular incumbent, so I do think for now I'm gonna leave it as a tilt characterization. I do think she's gonna underperform what people think she's going to, but at the same time, I really don't know. So I'm gonna leave it as a tilt characterization. I know Jackie Rosen is the incumbent in Nevada. I need to look more into who's running the Republican primaries, but because she is a stronger incumbent, I am actually going to leave it at a tilt margin. And in Virginia, we have Young Cow as the nominee, and I believe the senator that he's running against is Tim Kaine, and he was the part of the losing ticket of 2016. So I do think that Young Cow is going to be able to put up a good fight. And I think he would actually get this down below 5. I think it would probably be a 3 or 4 point win for Tim Kaine, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the comments, but I'm pretty sure it's Tim Kaine running for the seat. And now for Michigan. As you know, Michigan, the incumbent's not running anymore. John James, I believe, is speculated to actually run for the seat. So I think for now, I'm going to leave it as a 1 point characterization. And so this puts Republicans at 53 Senate seats with Democrats 47 Senate seats. So this is kind of what I'm basically looking at as of right now. Maybe in 2 weeks from now, as I look into these a little bit more, I will probably have a slightly different characterization for the Senate, but this is kind of my brief analysis for it as of right now. So if you guys did enjoy the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please share this with a friend so we can get this out on the algorithm. I know you guys have been really engaging on the channel as of recently. I've been seeing the numbers going up and things like that. A lot of comment engagement. I'm going to be trying to do as many videos as I can. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.